I know this has happened to you before. You study a lot, right? You study, you read, you write, you listen, and then you have that big moment where someone says something to you, like, what do you do for a living? And then nothing. Nothing comes out. You feel stupid. You think, I wasted all my time studying. And in your brain, you have the information. You see, there's nothing wrong with your knowledge. It's just that what you've done is you've studied how to learn, but not how to actually use it. Think of it this way, okay? Everyone knows about the World Cup. Now imagine you want to be an expert in the World Cup, and what you do is you sit down, you get your books, you study, you learn all the rules, you learn all the jargon, right? Words that go with a special profession or whatnot. You learn all of that, and then it's your day. FIFA World Cup, you step out on the field, you get ready on the pitch where they play, and the ball comes to you and you're like, boom! You've never hit a ball before. You've never been hit by a ball. And you're like, what? But I know everything. But here's the problem. You've never used it. You've taken it in, we call it input. You've taken it in, but you don't know how to get it out. Today, I'm going to help you with that problem so you won't feel that pain of not knowing what to say or feeling that you've wasted all of your time. And how I'm going to help you is by showing you what's happening and how we can fix it. Okay? So we're going to go from think it to say it. We're going to build a bridge, and you can see what a bridge is. It helps you go from one place to another, right? Because you can't travel this way, so we're going to build a bridge to get you there safely. So, what's the first thing we're going to do? All right. What happens is someone asked you, as I said at the beginning, what do you do for a living? And in my case, it would be teacher, okay? And you probably do that as well. And when you do that, then that's when that wall comes and you go blank, nothing else. So what if I could show you, which I'm going to now, how to move from that word to something else? Well, the first thing we're going to do is frame it. Do you know what a frame is? Sure you do. Your mom got a picture of you as a baby. There's you, right? And one tooth. There, you're in a frame. Beautiful frame. You're an ugly baby, but the frame makes it special. So what do I mean by frame it? We're going to take that word teacher, and we can put a frame around it to expand or make that sentence longer, as in, I'm in the business of teaching, right? My occupation is a teacher. I've expanded it. I put a frame around it to bring much more interest to what I'm saying, yeah? But to also get my brain moving a little bit, yeah? Okay, so I've opened my mind a little bit. So what's the next thing I want to do? So after I've done framing it, I want to practice that. I'm going to give you a couple other frames. These are common frames you can use in conversation. For example, you can say, I don't know, but I believe. Cause and effect, right? If this happened, then this will happen. Reason, you use the word because, right? Or since, or so. So we use these words to help frame the next word we're going to say and expand on the idea. Now that's good, but I think we can do a little bit better, okay? We can drill a 10 seconds drill to help us get better at this. Well, why? I want you to think of some common questions you might be asked, okay? You can be asked, what did you do yesterday? Yes. What do you do for a living? Yeah. How do you like living in Canada? Yeah. What is your new partner, boyfriend, girlfriend like? Yes. And what we want to do is in 10 seconds, say as much as you possibly can, right? Say as much as, what is your new girlfriend, boyfriend, partner like? Oh, let's think of a frame. I believe they're one of the best people I've ever met. There's your frame. They are good looking, they are nice, they are funny, yada, yada, yada. You might have noticed I added some information there. Where did that come from? Well, first of all, just practice the drill. Go through, I gave you some questions there, like what did you do yesterday? What do you like to eat? What do you do for a living? Use those questions to say as much as you can about that question for 10 seconds. But I'm going to help you right now so you can actually speak well and not just for 10 seconds, okay? And here is Dre. But it's not just any Dre. This is Dr. Dre. If you know anything about rap, You're impressed that I actually use this. If not, you're like, okay, Dr. Dre, fine. Well, Dr. Dre is a famous rapper, but what's important for you is D-R-E. Okay, D. This is a basic rule of any English. Someone asks you a question, answer the question with part of the question. What do I mean? How are you today? Today I am. I use part of the question in my answer, right? What are you doing? I am doing this. Part of the question is in the answer. All right? So we can say, what do you do for a living? For a living, I do this. Question, answer. Directly answer it so the person knows you're on the same topic. Next, give a reason. All right? Do you notice I said girlfriend and boyfriend is, I think, I used the frame, they were the best people I know because that's the reason word I taught you about earlier, right? Because they are good looking. That's my reason. So I am in the business of teaching. They asked about my occupation. Because I like helping people. There's my reason. So what's the E for, you might say? Give an example. Give an example, right? What do you do for a living? I am in the business of teaching. Or sorry, for a living, I teach. Direct example, right? Reason. Because I like to help people. Example. For example, last week I helped a young boy read. He wasn't good at reading, but I taught him ABCs and he can read. I have just gone from, do you remember the beginning of the video? What do you do for a living? Teacher. To, what do you do for a living? For a living, what I do is teach. I do so because I enjoy helping people. And as an example, last week I helped a young boy learn how to read. You went from one word to a paragraph. They might tell you, hey, yappy, shut up. You talk too much. That's a problem you want to have, okay? You're doing all the studying, so you might as well do that. Now that I've given you 3 methods to help increase your speaking, to take it from think it to say it, what I'd like you to do is actually put it into practice right now. And of course, if you know about me, there's going to be a test. In this case, the test is in the comments. Why don't you use some of the questions I gave you before? Remember, what did you do yesterday? Use some of the frames I gave you before, like if, then, because, yeah? Or I believe, or I think so. And try to form a conversation, just a small one. You saw what I did with what did you do for a living? Try and do that in the comments. Look at other people's. Tell them what you think about their answer, and then also put yours out there because you'll probably get feedback, which is information where people will say 2 thumbs up or not so good, pal. And that'll be helping you with your ability to communicate because that's what conversation is. It's communication. And as we come together in the comment section and work together, we can create a community that communicates well and helps everyone get better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I would like to make sure you go to www.ing as in English, vid as in video.com to see this video and other ones. I think you'll enjoy it, and I think you'll enjoy the other teachers that are there. So if this was of value to you, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good one.